If you're rocking with Young Dolph, let me know where y'all from and go ahead and hit that like button. Put the Dolph emojis in the comment section. Let's get into it. Now, once the indictment took place and they gave Justin Johnson the life sentence and everything for, playing the suspect for Young Dolph and what he did and the money he was paid and all this kind of stuff, right? So now that he's telling on Yo Gotti and that they're about to come and take Yo Gotti down, this is the main reason why everybody's trying to drop all the people off of CMG. They're trying to drop everybody off of 1017. And the reason is because this is why Gucci Mane didn't want to have any of those artists, because he knows that any crimes that they're a part of or whatever, it could come back and lead back to him if, they told him about it, or they could say that Gucci Mane paid him the money. And so this is why Yo Gotti, he thinking about dropping everybody from CMG, because he don't want none of this, the rest of the CMG guys stuff to come back on him. I mean, if you seen what happened between with Lil Migo and Big Moochie Grape, now they all of a sudden somebody got all the Big Moochie Grape jewelry. They said they broke into his Sprinter van and took all the jewelry when they was supposed to be inside doing a meet and greet. He was supposed to be doing a show or a feature at the studio. And next thing you know, Lil Migo and them, they broke into the Sprinter van, the whole tour bus and everything. And this is how they was able to take the picture and show all of the big PRE chain, the Big Moochie Grape, the baby grape chain, and everything that Big Moochie Grape had. And so they saying that they stole it. There was some thieving people, and a lot of people, they're like, man, they lost a lot of respect for the CMG artists, Lil Migo and all of them, because they were like, wow, you didn't have to resort to trying to steal Big Moochie Grape's jewelry. And so this is what's really going on. And now we understand why any of the people that did that to Big Moochie Grape, that could come back onto Yo Gotti. And they could say Yo Gotti was trying to pay money to get the rest of the PRE taken out. You got to remember, the indictment, the document showed that they put $5,000 on Big Moochie Grape head, and that they put 50,000 on Key Glock, 100,000 on Dolph, and 20,000, 50,000 to the other dude, Kenny Money, and everybody else. So what y'all gotta realize is the fact that they could tie all this back to basically the same suspects in the same situation, Dolph, which was where Big Jook, Govan, and Yo Gotti planned and plotted to pretty much put money on the dudes so that the street guys will go and handle that to get paid out. And it didn't work out. The guys only got $800, and this is why they're literally like in the when they're getting interviewed by the feds and the marshals in Shelby County, they're giving cooperation. They're giving all the details because they know they didn't get paid from Govan and Yo Gotti and Big Jook. So they ready to take them all down with them, because they know that they're not going to go down by themselves for this, even though it wasn't their idea. The only reason they really took and picked sides and everything was because they thought they were supposed to make some bread for their family. And now they realize they should have never listened to Yo Gotti and never took Big Jook's offer, and that they should have supported Young Dolph, and they would have probably learned from Dolph how to make a bag and get their generational wealth so they could take care of their own families and everything like that. And so now the karma is really hitting Yo Gotti and CMG, because all the other artists, they're crashing out now. Yo Gotti stopped paying all of them, and so now they crashing out. They're looking for a lick. They're looking to do something. They know where Yo Gotti's studio is. They know about all the details and the incriminating text back and forth and information. Remember, they had the meeting at Privé restaurant the night before Dolph got hit up, and it was all them people suspiciously just hanging around Privé, and they were writing something on the chalkboard or the whiteboard, trying to draw up the play on how they was going to get Dolph at the cookie shop. And so this is the same people who pretty much had a lot of beef with Young Dolph. Then they started beefing with Grove Hero. Remember, Lil Migo and Grove Hero got into it, and Grove Hero smacked him at the airport. And Lil Migo, he had to hide. He was wearing the Pooh Shiesty mask with a jacket zipped all the way up and all sweats and gloves on, so nobody could see his tattoos or anything like that. And so because they knew they had a whole beef going on, and they wasn't trying to get caught lacking in the streets, because a lot of people were sliding for Dolph. Ask what happened to Govan's artists and everything. And the cookie shop people's brother, Maurice's brother, they got him for Young Dolph, basically, and everything alleged. But at the end of the day, they starting to realize that it's no way out now, and that Yo Gotti, he's gonna have to drop all of the CMG artists so that they don't say that they've been getting paid from him and all this stuff. Because now that the RICO is coming out, they're really following the paper trail, trying to figure out who exactly put the money up. Now, Grove Hero said back in like a year ago or so, longer than a year ago, Grove Hero was talking about how Big Jook put the 40,000 on Grove Hero head, and this is when they were figuring out that, oh, it's all tied through Yo Gotti. Like, Yo Gotti talked to his brother. His brother was the guy that really does the street stuff, and you know, he was in charge of finding the people to do it and all this stuff. So Cornelia Smith and Straight Drop and all them, they talked to Big Jook, and now they're telling the feds about exactly the offer that Big Jook made them. And when the feds asked them, okay, was Big Jook the person who came with the idea, or was somebody else telling him to do this and gave him the money? And they were like, yeah, you know, Big Jook usually only listens to Yo Gotti. He only moves if Yo Gotti tells him to do something, he's got to do it. So a lot of people were like, yeah, Big Jook didn't know them. And so the only reason why Straight Drop and them were called upon was because Yo Gotti and them knew that was the same dude that's been hanging around Key Glock, and he's been behind the scenes and PRE. So if he shows up to one of the PRE music videos, or if he shows up to the giveaway, then it's not a red flag yet until more people notice. Like, once Key Glock notices and he tells somebody, oh, he's not cool with this dude no more, then he got to tell security to get him out. But at the time, Dolph went to the cookie shop just with him and his brother. So when Straight Drop ran up there, there was no Key Glock, there was no Big Moochie Grape, it was no other PRE dudes. They would have had a whole army, and they realized it was just Dolph and his brother. And so once they got the notice, and a lot of people are starting to think, did the cookie shop drop the location on them? Because how did they know to pull up so quickly? How did they know? And that Dolph and them didn't know that they were getting followed, because they would have already seen the same car making the same turns as them and everything like that. And so you got to remember that they came off the highway. Remember, Makita's Raven was saying you could smell the cookies off the highway and everything like that. It made it seem like Dolph and them had just pulled, like they were going somewhere else, and they had just pulled off the exit to get the cookie because they could smell them freshly being made. That's not how it went down. They already knew they was going to pull up to the cookie shop early that morning. They was already talking to them, saying, yeah, we're gonna come and pick up this order. You gotta make it fresh for us. It's, you know, it's going to Dolph people and everything like that. So when they came to pick it up, it was already word that got out that they were gonna be coming to the cookie shop, and you know, people had already got Dolph's location at that point. So they were just waiting for the right moment where he got out the car and he didn't have none of the other cats around with him. And so at that very moment, this is why, the reason why they was able to run up so quickly while Dolph was on the phone and everything like that, looking down. And the footage never showed anything actually hitting Dolph. So like, they cut that part out so that they didn't have to show that to nobody. But at the end of the day, the aftermath around that, did Dolph try to run into that back room? Did Dolph try to run into the bathroom? Because the footage only cuts out when the lady leaves the back of the counter. And they were saying, what happened to Makita's Raven, saying that her dad, when the owner of the cookie shop, when Maurice went to pick up Dolph, and he said, stay with me, Dolph, stay with me, Dolph. So where's all that in the footage? This is why a lot of people wanted to see the footage a long time ago, before anything could have happened to it, before anything could have been changed or anything. And a lot of people were like, yeah, this is how TMZ and all them people end up buying the footage. And so somebody had to have bought the footage and cut those certain parts out and everything, because we're not seeing the whole picture. And a lot of people was talking about how it was guys running out the side of the cookie shop. People ran out the back of the cookie shop and went into the Family Dollar. The witness 007 seen it all happen. She's seen everything happen that the camera ain't showing, and is really telling two different sides to the story. So what happened after all that? Who went into the shop? Who came out the side of the shop? Who was in that manager's back office? And why did they come to pick up Dolph and say, stay with me, Dolph? And they try to like give him a hand up like he was going to stand up or something like that. They really tried to pick him up on his feet. And so that's why a lot of the people, when they interview Makita's Raven, a lot of people behind her was like saying not to say nothing. They were like, she already messed up. She told two contradicting statements. And now they trying to get the justice for Dolph. They already gave the life sentence, so they coming for everybody now, and nobody's gonna be left out. And Yo Gotti, he's shaking in his boots. He getting ready to drop everybody to save himself.